Greetings, comic book friends. It is TGIW. Thank God it is Wednesday. New comic book day. Let's see how we did this week. I did get some extra stuff this week because I did something that I kept a promise to myself. Whether I should have or not, but we'll get to that. So it's a pretty good week. I have a total of 10 books, which I think is one less than what it was last week, and last week was a pretty reasonably sized week. I mean, everything looks really good. Like, every week there's usually maybe one or two books where I'm like, yeah, I guess I'll get through it. Not really digging it right now, or it's a limited series and I'm just trying to finish off because I started it. But everything here looks really, really good. I'd say that I have a hard time knowing what I'm going to read first, but that's not the case. I absolutely know what I'm going to read first, and I bet a lot of you can guess it. It is Hulk #1. So Donny Cates starts his run on Hulk, and I am super excited. I've been enjoying Donny Cates' stuff. I love his Venom. Just in general, his stuff is usually pretty great. Love the Hulk. Real excited to see what happens out of coming from Immortal Hulk. The tagline here is awesome. What if the Hulk exists to protect us from Banner? Which, yeah, I mean, you think about it. If you think of the way that the Hulk has been described, is that the Hulk is an outward personification of all of the anger that Bruce has been hiding inside with like how he's treated growing up and all that. So if Hulk smashing is the way that he lets out that anger instead of I don't know, trying to blow up the world as a mad scientist, then I guess the trade-off is fine. So that's, I don't know. We'll see. That's kind of what I'm guessing. That feels like a Cates-esque sort of spin on a character, so that's my guess. I don't know. I haven't read anything about this. I haven't read it yet, but I'm so excited. I can't wait to finish this video so I can go read it. Next up is Thor #19. So we're starting a new Cates again, but we're starting a new Thor storyline. God of Hammers starts here. So we have King Thor being King Thor. I'm sure it's great. Issue 5 of Symbiote Spider-Man Crossroads. Man, this book is so good. So many friends are here. We have Spider-Man and Doctor Strange and Icarus and Black Cat and Hulk. Hulk. All going up against the what's her name? Norn, some Norn queen. I forget. But it's so much fun. And I say it every time. I love the deep cut to the Crossroads. I also picked up Hawkeye #1. I was kind of torn about this. I wasn't sure, but with the new show starting, which is probably the other thing I'll do after I get done watching this, the Fraction Hawkeye, where she was a big part of, was obviously great. One of definitely the best Hawkeye book that's ever been in existence, if not one of the best books of that time. So it's not Fraction. It's, I can't remember who the writer is, but Kate Bishop's fun. So I figured I'd give the #1 a shot. Serial #8. So our little serial killer that is currently hunting another serial killer, I suppose. Who that serial killer also seems to be killing bad people. So I don't know. I guess who's really the bad person here? I don't know. It's a fun read. If you pick these up in collections, I think it's probably worth the read. It's entertaining. Spider-Man #79. So more Beyond. Look, I thought maybe it'd take a little bit longer for it to be like, oh, Beyond Corporation is an evil corporation, or at least a bad corporation, or they are not being truthful, or whatever. The thing that we all knew would happen, those cracks are already starting to show. Where I can't remember her name, but the lady who's running at least this portion of the Beyond Corporation is like, yeah, what if we just kind of let these bad things happen? Like, we might learn something from it that we could profit off of. I don't know. Clearly, it's all about profit. It's not about putting superheroes out there to help people. So, yeah, that is happening faster than probably expected. What that means for Ben Reilly's tenure as Spider-Man, I don't know how long they're planning on keeping Ben as the Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man. But if he's connected to Beyond, and Beyond is already showing how it's going to be evil, then it might not be long. I don't know. I haven't read anything about what the plans are for that. Batman Reptilian, I think this is the last issue. This has been really good. The Black Label issues are usually pretty kind of hit and miss. I've read a lot of them. There was a point where I just bought everything that was Black Label because I was curious and thought that I like alternate, not in main continuity. But I started backing off them and kind of picking and choosing them. And the art really got me on this one, and it turns out the story is really good too. So it's Killer Croc basically has a child, and the child is out killing people. Most notably killing other villains, because I believe it was because there are other villains that Killer Croc is mad at, and the child senses his mother's anger at them, so it attacks. It's pretty good. Robin 8. I feel like it's been really recent since I've read a Robin. Anyway, I think we're getting down to the wire for... Because I think it's just Connor and Damian now that are the last two standing in the tournament that's going on. We're starting to learn a little bit more about the woman who's running it. It's really good. It's been pretty much the same story arc from the beginning. I highly recommend it. If you can go pick up the issues, I don't think they're hard to find, but I think it's definitely worth a read. House of Slaughter 2. So this follows what's his name, Aaron, where it's kind of to show you the world that something is killing the children takes in. The first issue was good. It was interesting. It piqued my interest, so I'll keep with it along with the main title, as long as it keeps being interesting. I'm not a super something is killing the children fanboy where it's just because something's killing the children I have to get it. If it ever falls off, then I have no problem dropping it. But the first issue was good, so as long as it keeps that up, then I'll keep it. And we have the second to last issue of Marjorie Finnegan, Temporal Criminal. I really like this book because of its offbeat nature, which is what made me read it. I got the first issue and I really liked sort of the out there outlandishness of it, which is always fun for a little while, but it does start to take its toll. I think 6 issues is about my tolerance for this sort of thing. And this is 8, so it's this one and one more to go. But I kind of know that going forward, I suppose, that it's good in small doses. And just after a while, it's just, all right, I get it. You will say and do completely outlandish things to get a shock factor. But at this point, it's no longer any sort of shock factor or anything. It's just like, all right, yeah, you're doing dumb stuff again. Okay. So, it's been fun. I think it would probably read better in a trade where you can just kind of read it all at once and ingest all of that insaneness in one sitting, instead of having it spread against, like, oh, I got to jump into this mindset again, reading it month to month. But yeah, I think reading it as a trade would probably serve it a little bit better, at least for the issues that I'm kind of having with it at this point. So the other stuff I got, I keep saying I'm going to do this, and that is take stock of the titles that I read in trade. There's a lot of titles that I read just in trade, and I realize there's a lot of things I haven't bought in a really long time, so I'm probably behind. So before I went to the comic shop today, I went and looked at my bookshelf and picked out all the stuff that I do read and trade, and it's like, okay, the next one that I would need after what I have is this. And it's a long list. I am very, very behind in my trade reading, which is too bad because I'm just behind in my single issue reading as well as for back issues and runs I've collected. There's always too much to read. But I didn't want to get so far behind. I decided to try to catch up a little bit. So I bought some trades. I was going to buy a couple more, but they just didn't have the ones that I was specifically looking for. These are the ones that they had. I can, when I'm ready to do another round of this, maybe after I read these and other trades on my shelf that have been sitting around, I'll special order them. But I'm starting to feel real guilty about being so behind on my trade reads. So, Redneck number 4. I think I'm actually 2 behind on this because I think there is a volume 5 as well. So more Donny Cates. Again, it's a week of Donny Cates. Yeah. Redneck Vampires. It's great. I got Monstrous number 5, volume 5. This also I was 2 behind on. Number 6 is out. The art on this has just always been so beautiful. This woman who has like this monster basically deep inside her and has to keep it in control, and yeah, it's a really good fantasy read that I highly suggest. And this I definitely needed to get because I'm also 2 volumes behind on this, and that is Elfquest. This is Elfquest Volume 6. 7 is also out. I might be getting that soon. One of my shops is having a Black Friday sale on Friday. They also have Volume 7. I might go pick that up then and get it for a little bit cheaper. But I did not realize... I guess that these complete Dark Horse collections go out of print sometimes fairly quickly. That's what happened to me with Usagi Yojimbo. I got behind on Usagi Yojimbo, and now the volume of Usagi of Dark Horses, the complete Usagi Yojimbo, the volume I need is out of print. And it hasn't been that long, right? It hasn't been like years and years and years. I don't know how long it's been, but it seemed like it went out of print very, very quickly. So I need to be better and pay better attention. I've learned that lesson to these complete series and make sure I catch up on them. I don't know what I'm going to do about that Usagi because like online it's like $150, which is dumb. Their MSRP is like $25. So we'll see. Maybe it'll come back into print. Maybe at some point I'll have to bite the bullet and just like I messed up. Lesson learned. I don't know. But yeah, got Elfquest Volume 6. I'll probably get Volume 7 on Friday. Just because it'll be cheaper and I don't want it to go out of print. And I can imagine things like Elfquest, I think the market for that, the demand for Elfquest is not super, super high, which I will always say, again, I disagree with. It is a very, very, very good story. I love Elfquest, obviously. I've read 5 issues. I've gotten the 6th. The it's very good. Does it get kind of weird? Yeah, it does get kind of weird. Um, does it get weird sometimes in sexual ways? Yeah, it's gonna do that. That is kind of Elfquest's MO. But the story is really, really good. I think, especially at the time that this came out, where we see stuff like this, I think it's more accepted and it's more we see it more often today than we did when this came out. So it stood out more, and that's what kind of locked in people's mind that, like, Elfquest, oh, it's that weirdo sexy elves book. Because it stood out so much more at that time, and that has just sort of perpetuated for the people that had any experience with it. But instead of it being this really, really good fantasy story that happens to have sexy elves, it just, I don't know. Anyway, I think there is a stigma about Elfquest. If you can look past it, I highly suggest it. The story is very, very, very good. But that's all I'll say about that for now. I'll say it again, because I say it every time I talk about Elfquest, because I continue to preach the book of Elfquest. But yeah, that's it. Let me know your thoughts on the stuff that I got, on anything you got. Do you ever fall behind on trades where you just kind of forget, because like with your individual issues, you put them on you're subscribed to them, so when you walk into the shop, they're set aside for things like trades. I usually, like, if I don't see it the week that if I don't see it on the shelf the week it comes out, then I miss it, and then now I'm behind. So I need to do better about that. I now have a text file in my phone, so at all times I'll have where I am and all my stuff. So whenever I think about it at a comic shop, I can be like, oh, I can pick up another trade of this. I'm like, well, I would pick up a trade of this, but I don't know what's sitting on my bookshelf. I have it; it's logged now, so I'm gonna be better about it. But does that ever happen to you? And what do you do to solve it? Or do you wait until like 10 volumes of something is out and just get them all at once so you can read them all at once? What's your strategy there? Let me know in the comments. And like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. This is the day before Thanksgiving, so if that is something that you celebrate, I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving. I hope you have excellent time with friends and family. Not that I don't hope you have a good time with friends and family on other days as well, but have a good Thanksgiving if that is your thing. If it's not your thing, then just have a good day, I suppose. But most importantly, of course, don't forget to make yours Titan. This video was brought to you by Titan Comic Pressing. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Titan Comic Pressing LLC.